Just take a breath.
I don't know.
So I might need to change it.
Taken.
Yeah,
Like,
the
you're
artist
not.
police.
Yeah. What up, YouTube?
Hi, I'm Kat, and I ask people for their stories. Today, I am with...
Sunshine Yellow or Carla.
Tell me a story of a time you took a leap of faith.
I was working a very corporate job for 3 years after graduating college. I liked it, but I felt like it wasn't 100% fulfilling. I've always really admired people who follow their gut and their passion. So I left my 9-to-5 job to pursue tattooing full time. It was a big leap of faith on my part, but I feel really happy with my choice.
How long was the deliberation period for you?
I had been thinking about it for a while. I live a lot thinking of, I do only have this lifespan for myself. I didn't want to think of myself in like the old granny chair in 50 years or 60 years.
It's always
and be
the
like,
old granny chair.
Yeah, and like look back and be like, damn, I wish I had done this. Again, everything that we have is made up anyway, so might as well try something that was calling me. Obviously, I didn't do it without thinking of what the steps were gonna be. You have to make sure that you can, support yourself and figure it all out. So I also work as a barista right now. To make the things that you want happen in your life, you have to compromise on certain things. To me, that was okay because I find a lot of fulfillment tattooing.
Yeah. Do you feel like there was it a day or a moment or anything that you can really pinpoint that was like, I'm gonna just make the leap?
The first thing that comes to mind is that I actually have 2 friends from my last job that I also do music, and they helped me create a music video for my last song. Shout out to Patty and Jacob. They're so talented, and working with them in something outside of our regular jobs. When you have a project that you're doing that is creative and like you're feeling that fire of like doing something new and you're excited and you're working with other people and it's this like world that you create together and like bond that you create together. And I feel really lucky that the people that I've met in my life also pursue things that they love and also push themselves. And I remember visiting my friend, shout out to Nara. We were sitting at a table and it was her and a few other of my friends, and they're all artists. And I was sitting at the table and I was like, this isn't a coincidence that I'm sitting here too. So it's that confidence in yourself too of I'm not just artist adjacent. I'm also an artist, and like I can take up this word and take up this space as well and put my stuff out there.
I feel like it kind of took me a while to like be like, I'm an artist. Nowadays, I will say, no, I'm an artist.
Yeah.
That took a really long time, that identity
100%.
shift
100%.
thing. Like, I was kind of like, I can't say that until I'm like famous or something. I don't know. But like, no, I make art and I want to do it all the time.
Yeah.
And I just love it. And
Yes.
you're an artist. If you make art, you're an artist. Tell me a story of a time you followed your curiosity.
When I finished college, I went on a 6-week road trip. I really wanted to see as many state parks or national parks as I could in the US because I grew up in the Dominican Republic and I've always loved nature. And it was scary to think of, oh, I'm gonna go in a van, and like you hear so many scary stories. And so it was a big push of not just my curiosity to see the journey that was awaiting me, but push onto that fear and be like, whatever comes, like I'll figure it out.
And trust in yourself.
Yeah, it's definitely a big part of who I am now. We're each like potted plants. I get to a point where I feel like my roots are pretty bound at the bottom. And I'm like, okay, time for a bigger pot or time for like a change. Yeah, meeting the edge and softening.
Do you believe in soulmates?
I 100% do. That there's like one person for each person, no. You could have different soulmates. And they also don't just have to be romantic, they can be platonic. I do feel like there's people you meet that are meant to be in your life.
Do you think soulmates are always forever, or do they go in and out of your life?
I feel like I've been deconstructing a lot the forever fairy tale. And I feel like we grew up with a lot of fairy tales that were like that. of like, okay, they marry and then happily ever after. And it's very beautiful, like, to promise someone to continue loving them as they change. Sometimes a very short relationship can be really impactful for you, and allowing it to be what it is, which I think is the big thing. Like, I think a lot of people stay in things when it no longer serves them because of the pressure of longevity.
So now I ask, do you believe in ghosts?
100%. 100%, no questions asked. Ghosts exist. As a kid, I would see a lot of things. I definitely had some weird, freaky experiences. We can only perceive so much. I used to sleepwalk a lot, and which I'm like, why do we do that? That's weird. But also,
Talking about paranormal, let's just talk about sleepwalking for a second. What the
like,
hell
it's weird.
is that?
It's weird. What do you mean? Also, where do we go? You were telling me
Where
that we go to bed and we close our eyes and then we just dream for like half of our lives. I don't know.
Cut the shit.
Yeah.
Where are we
Would
going?
we turn this into a conspiracy theory thing?
I think.
I bring out the foil
The
or whatever.
foil hat. You're like, actually, I've been saving this.
Perfect moment. I had weird instances where I remember telling my mom, I was like, I see like little dolls like coming out from my bathroom door, like floating off. I remember seeing the shadow of Virgin Mary, and I remember being like so scared.
Were you like, that is Virgin Mary? Like,
yes,
if it was
100%,
just a shadow,
it looked
how
like
did you
her.
know?
She was literally like this with her veil. Even talking about it sometimes, I'm like,
It gives you chills.
because I sound so crazy, but I'm like, I swear it was
You're
my
like, "No, I saw it."
experience. And I would see this little like Frankenstein-esque baby come to my bed. They were like weird apparitions for sure.
Do you think ghosts are inherently bad or
No.
good?
Am I gonna mess with a Ouija board and find out? No. Like, I've watched The Conjuring.
What is the scariest thing you've ever done?
I feel like the scariest things that I do on the daily are being vulnerable and saying how I feel. I find that so hard. It's funny how our brains evolve from going to like, oh, I'm gonna get killed and this is really scary, to like saying how I feel is the scariest thing ever.
I know, literally.
You know? Your brain is telling you don't do it. Tell that voice it's okay. I know that you're trying to protect me, but this is what's best right now. Coming out to my dad was like, I was really scared. I was really scared, and he was really sweet, and it was like a very like affirming moment of it's okay to say how you feel. And I remember it also being really scary when I came out to my mom and stuff like that. But you know, it's difficult conversations that you have to go through to sort of push forward.
I mean, that's a pretty damn
know.
prime example
Yeah.
of like, I'm sure one that as well a lot of people like can very much
Mhm.
relate to.
Yeah.
That's a scary thing. And
Yeah.
the reaction was positive. It seems like you said.
Yeah,
from your
with
dad, and
time we've like
did that surprise
yeah.
you?
100%.
Yeah.
Like, with time, we've all grown to respect each other a lot, see that we are changing people. I understood them a lot in terms of seeing me change so much, but them knowing now that it was simply because now I had the space, now I had the freedom to understand myself.
Yeah,
know?
you're in a bigger pot.
Yeah,
You know, your roots are like
exactly.
rerouting,
Exactly.
and you're like, tell a story of a time you felt loved.
Always wanted a surprise birthday party. My friends here all got together and really surprised me. Yeah, everyone hid behind a rock. From the angle that I was looking at the rock, it looked way smaller. They had set up these pumpkin painting. I had been mentioning how much I wanted to do pumpkin painting. Like, I didn't want to do pumpkin carving this year. I saw the setup and I was like, oh, cute. Like, it's some kid's birthday. And
it's this kid's birthday.
It's this kid's birthday. And then they start coming out and it literally felt like a clown car where they just like kept popping out behind from the rock, and I was so surprised. And I'm super sensitive, so of course I cried. And it was just such a sweet thing. It's really true that to be known is to be loved. There's certain things that are specific to the things that you like that come from people really listening to you that really makes you feel so seen. I'm like giggling and kicking my feet.
Literally.
I'm like, yay.
Oh, that's
Yeah.
so sweet.
100%. I love that.
We did it. Nice.
I love that.